It started with a charming smile, a polite demeanor, and an air of confidence. Theodore Robert Bundy was the last person anyone suspected of being a predator. But behind the mask of an ambitious law student was a ruthless killer, preying on young women across multiple states. He was intelligent, calculated, and worst of all, he knew how to blend in. His reign of terror began in the early 1970s. Reports of missing women started to surface, many last seen with a man matching Bundy's description: dark hair, handsome, often wearing a sling or a fake cast. He used deception to lure his victims in, asking for help carrying books or loading his car. Once they were close enough, he struck. Bundy's methods were chilling. He often bludgeoned his victims before abducting them, taking them to secluded locations where he would commit unspeakable horrors. Then, he would dispose of the bodies, sometimes revisiting the remains days later. Authorities had no idea they were dealing with a single man responsible for so many disappearances. As the disappearances increased, the name Ted began circulating among law enforcement, thanks to witness descriptions. But Bundy was careful, constantly changing locations: Washington, Oregon, Utah, and Colorado. The scattered nature of his crimes made it difficult to connect the cases. In 1975, Bundy was finally arrested for the first time. A routine traffic stop led police to discover suspicious items in his car: handcuffs, a crowbar, and a mask. But with no direct evidence linking him to the murders, he was only convicted of kidnapping. That should have been the end of his reign of terror. Instead, it was only the beginning of his ability to escape justice. Bundy's first escape came in 1977, when he jumped out of a second-story library window while awaiting trial. He was on the run for 6 days before being recaptured. But his next escape was even more daring. He starved himself to fit through a hole in the ceiling of his jail cell and walked right out of the prison. This time, he vanished for good. He resurfaced in Florida in 1978, more violent than ever. On January 15th, he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University, attacking 4 women in less than 15 minutes. 2 of them, Lisa Levy and Margaret Bowman, were brutally murdered. Weeks later, he abducted and killed a 12-year-old girl, Kimberly Leach, his final known victim. Bundy's luck ran out when he was pulled over by police once again, this time in Pensacola, Florida. Using forensic evidence, something that was still relatively new in criminal investigations, authorities linked him to the Chi Omega murders. His teeth marks on one of the victims proved to be the final nail in the coffin. During his trial, Bundy's true nature was on full display. He represented himself in court, using his charisma and intelligence to manipulate the proceedings. At times, he even flirted with female reporters and manipulated the media into portraying him as an innocent man. But the evidence was undeniable. The jury took just 7 hours to convict him, sentencing him to death. Even as he awaited execution, Bundy continued to toy with authorities. He offered confessions in bits and pieces, only admitting to more crimes when he realized his time was running out. He claimed to have killed over 30 women, though experts believe the true number could be much higher. Bundy's crimes had a lasting impact on criminal investigations. His case led to advancements in forensic technology, criminal profiling, and the understanding of serial killers. Investigators studied Bundy's manipulative behavior and psychological traits, developing techniques that would later help capture other notorious killers. Despite his monstrous actions, Bundy maintained a devoted following. Some women wrote him love letters, attended his trial, and even believed he was innocent. His twisted charm made him a terrifying example of how evil can disguise itself in plain sight. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds cheered, celebrating the end of a monster's reign. But Bundy left behind an unsettling legacy, a glimpse into the mind of a killer who walked among us, charming, deceiving, and ultimately destroying lives. His story serves as a haunting reminder: evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes, it looks just like one of us. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime cases. And let me know in the comments, what do you think drove Ted Bundy to kill?